Wishing that I could fly up so very high in the sky like an apple pie. Apple pies don't fly in the sky. What kind of horseshit is that, Frank? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Live Drive Jive Archive with your host, Frank Monday, coming at you at an unusually odd angle from the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, Twilight Zone, Old Beijing, Old Peking, where we're getting it, man. Fucking economy's raging. It's on fire. They're building all kinds of new things on this road anyway. Um, Joe Biden's son Hunter flew over here on Air Force Two to seal a deal with the Chinese about helping to further develop their economy and rebuild some of their infrastructure, uh, to open up some new petrol plants and a new. So the Bidens are seriously investing in Beijing as, I guess, a future domestic market. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm here. So they're like, Frank Monday, we'll send over a bunch of money to Beijing so that you'll have a better life. So that's cool. I mean, that's nice of them, huh? So everything's looking new and shiny. Like 3 new gas stations, fueling stations opened up on this one little strip of road right here. Uh, they're building a new mini mansion community center filled with little single standing homes, villa style homes, which are very rare in China, in Beijing especially. You guys may know Beijing's a city of like 25 million people, and as a result, most of the housing is just these housing projects, apartment complexes, anywhere from 10 to 30 stories tall, where people live in 50 square meter apartments with 10 members of their family. So imagine having a 50 square meter apartment. It's about 150 feet, 150 square feet of living space for 10 people to live. It's tight. We got to have one. The main room will be with bunk beds, like maybe 6 bunk beds. And then you'll have an ante room, official bedroom with like 6 bunk beds. Four bunk beds in one 10 square foot room. Kind of like prison cells. They're advanced prison cells, though, because we can take in and out what we like, what we can store in there. So if you like living in 100 square feet, not even 200 square feet with 10 people in the family, then that's the style you're gonna be looking forward to in the future. Like Carl Schwab says, you will own nothing and like it, and just be grateful that you can eat a bowl of rice each day. So meanwhile, while we all live like rats on a sinking ship, guys like Hunter Biden sucking on a glass dick, popping crack rock after crack rock, and all his flacka zombie friends are living high on the hog, flying around on Air Force Two to the Ukraine, sealing up power deals at a $80,000 a week job that he doesn't actually have to show up for, and then hanging out over here in Beijing at all the 5-star clubs. He should just be like a normal politician type dude and take up golf. Why does he have to? Why does he have to like have erratic sex habits? Franks, I'm having dinner now with my family. Just wanted to say hi. I'll watch some show later. Sorry, the hour going forward messed us up on the schedule for me. I'm sad. I'm sorry to hear that, Monsieur Tedrick. It's a bummer. Yeah, I'm gonna miss you, brother. Enjoy your dinner, because you certainly cannot listen to Frank Money during dinner. That is no kinds of cute. I don't know though. I could weave you a tale of a dinner tale. The Vikings had all settled into their longhouse. The hearth fires burned low, and roast mutton and elk rotated on a spit above the fire. Horned cups of mead and ale went round with great succor and joy. Yeah, I can't do that. I can just talk a bunch of shit. I hope y'all good looking sex people are doing well out there in Happy Land. Diane is in the chat room where she was. Hi, Diane. I hope you're doing well. Long time no see. I just, yeah, so I've been feeling ennui these last few days. Maybe it's for all the souls being lost in the Russo Ukalan confrontation that's going on right now. Maybe it's just, maybe it's the weather. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're coming to the end of the Piscean sun sign, the Piscean zodiacal turn. Maybe two little fish could tell them. If you're out there, you hear this later on. Sasquatch Roadkill, greetings to you. Greetings to all y'all good-looking sexy people out in Happy Land. We have arrived at Plum Blossom Lane, where the old wizard of Plum Blossom Lane, really quite insane, mumbles inane, hobbling on his cane. To watch him is a pain. Looks like I lost connection. That usually happens when I pull along this road. Don't know if it'll reconnect or not. We'll see. Wow, that's smart. You fucking stupid assholes. Yeah, that's why it's so important to pay attention. Maybe that's why I'm feeling ennui. Let's see. Over the last few days, I've seen a couple of road kills. I think one was a dog. One might have been a fox. I doubt it, though. I don't think I've ever seen foxes in this area. There have been a couple of road incidents. I got a flat tire. Just trying to avoid the idiots is a big enough deal. I guess more people are stirring up due to the fact that spring's here now. We're well into it. We're almost at the midway point of spring. Lots of economic stimulation going on. Buildings being torn down and new ones being built. Gas prices go up 20% today. That's lovely. Thank you, Joe Biden. Aren't you a clever individual to ruin? You know what? I'm not gonna say it's anyone this, that, or the other thing. Fuck it. Who cares? You know what I mean? These things. Here's what I'm firmly convinced of. Nothing happens. None of this has happened. There has been no Russian invasion of Ukraine, right? That hasn't happened. It's something that's being rolled out. Another mainstream narrative for people to worry about and start to feel biosurvival anxiety over. This stuff is planned 10, 15, 20 years in advance. Tomorrow's news headline was worked out a decade ago. The day-to-day rollout of stories in the narrative are not happenings. They are actions that groups of peoples and institutions are taking. They give this miasmic assertion like these things are just happening, right? Like they're random events occurring in the cosmos. And if you talk to Two Little Fish, she'll set you straight on that. She would reveal the indications of the luminaries and the facts that you can calculate and predict these things hundreds, if not thousands, time low today, huh? I keep blanking out. Give me out in Happy Land. I see bugs out there. I like it when you guys chit chat in the ideas room because then I can see your little icons. All right, nobody on Happy Land. The internet connectivity is garbage. I got a yo. I don't know that I could add anything to your dinner in the way of ambiance. What goes good with dinner? I don't know. A beer? I seldom have beer with my dinner anymore. Occasionally I'll have a beer after dinner. And when I say occasionally, I mean once every 6 months. Hey, you're back. Good deal. Am I still connected to the internet? Hard to say, man. They quarantined like one of these entire communities. From what I understand, though, only they're amping back up the Coovey rhetoric here in the capital. What is it? I feel something looming. Some like I said, I feel an inordinate amount of ennui these days. And when I say these days, I mean today. And somehow yesterday and a little bit the day before. And I was talking to my mom on the phone and I just exploded at her. Um, Everything seems to go against me sometimes in the cosmos. Maybe it's because we're coming to the end of Pisces. Because at the beginning of Pisces, I was feeling fantastic, man, on top of the world. Everything was great. The stars were shining. Now it's all turned to shit. Well, it hasn't really. It's just my feeling, my interpretation of it. Flat tire, tons of road incidents, like people that don't operate their vehicles correctly, making bad choices. Cell phones, I think, has a good part to do of it. Yesterday, as I was going home on the afternoon shuffle, I this gal like made a really strange swerving move and was going too slow on the highway. And I looked over and she had her phone right up in her face and was like texting while operating. I think she was in like a Porsche or an Audi or something, really nice SUV. And I thought, good God, that's just the height of entitlement right there to uh to drive and text in your multi-million dollar car, putting everyone at risk, yourself and others. All right, y'all, I've arrived at the yard like 10 minutes early. That's pretty awesome. Let me see if I can't readjust this bad boy somewhere where I can see you. Oh, man, there's not a lot I can do about it, man. I forgot my cell phone mount this morning. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? Finally I've arrived though. So here we are. We're at the yard. Got a new hat. It's nice. I like new hats. This one I bought about 15 years ago. Last one of the times I was home. Not last time I was home, but one of the times I was home. And so it says the athletic department of Eugene, Oregon, official Nike gear. And it's got that old Stars and Stripes 76ers on there. I like that. I still need a haircut. And no, I did not get a haircut for those of you that were asking. The other day when I made that short, all I had done was shaved. And left the goatee, then I shaved the goatee. Then I thought about shaving it all off. And I thought, I don't know, man. I've been wearing the mustache for a couple of years now. I might feel a little strange without my mustache, so I decided to keep it. My wife doesn't really like the mustache. She she says I look like Hitler because this part's darker than the rest. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's not a lot I can do about that, you know. I don't think I look like Hitler though. Hitler wasn't blonde. Hitler was an Austrian and he was dark haired and olive skinned. Sasquatch is out there. Hi Sasquatch. Hi Diana. Let me check the chat. Now that I've arrived, I can see what y'all good looking sexy people are getting up to. Let's have a JP Farrell. Smoke them if you got them, guys. I wonder if they still issue cigarettes to military guys. I don't guess they do. Eating dinner and watching you. Thanks, Frank. Same to you, says Diane. Gave you a thumbs up. I appreciate those thumbs up. Those help. They say those help out the channel. Ain't nothing going to help this channel out. My average view count will never go above 4 or 5 average listeners. That's just the way it is. That's all right. 4 or 5 good looking, sexy people. That's a room full of folks. It's down to one right now. It's all about global reset, new world order. It's all about their own card deck. Yeah, they're just rolling out plans they've instituted 10, 15, 20 years ago, even 100 years ago, some of them. That's interesting. You should mention the Illuminati card deck. I've actually got a copy of that card deck. I bought it back in the mid 90s or whenever it came out. Maybe it was like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, I think. I bought that card deck. I've got a copy of it back home. Well, I had. See, that's why I'm feeling ennui. My mother let my older sister take over my house. I had opened up my house scam, the COVID scam, and my mother went to take a vacation with my other sister, and she my one of my older sisters moved into my house with her daughter, and it's breaking my heart because I stored all of the things I had bought up into my mid 20s at that house that I had purchased. It's my home, I bought it, and I didn't want my older sister living in it. She's in another house next door that she and her daughter have destroyed, basically, that was originally my mother's house. And so I'm feeling sad because all of the things that I had stored away and thought about, one day passing on to my son what he wants and stuff are now being rifled, whatever, to feed themselves, I guess. I don't know. Never say never, Frank. Yeah, I got you. I'm trying to plan a trip back there this summer, but you never know. They're ranking up the gas prices to make it even harder for people to fly so that they can really charge a lot for flight tickets. But something has to break through this spell of black magic that has taken over the world. Yeah, Sasquatch, I agree with you. I'm not going to sell out for more views. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I put a lot of effort into the channel back in the early days of starting it. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of editing and sound work and shooting different angles and trying to make interesting videos, and it never paid off. I'd never get more than 2 or 3 views for a video, no matter how much effort I put into it, no matter how much I tried to follow their rules. So you know what? Fuck it. Just let the cards fall where they may. You can't you can't you can't win on any platform at this point. Yeah, so today's a bit of a bummer. I'm sorry for that, y'all. You got to have your one off day where you're just like class today. I'll class up. I get here. I left it. Yeah, who gives a fuck? 13, 14 hours basically work day for me today. That's all right. On Tuesday, I can take a half day. Angelica says, comfortable times don't cause revolution. Ever so, this will change the world for the better, hopefully. Yeah, they've uh, they've pushed that meme through the collective consciousness again recently. That hard times make strong men make weak men, and weak men make. Well, no, what is it? Hard times make strong men make good times make weak men, and weak men make hard times. I don't know if I believe that entirely, though. I mean that's probably true for the average, but I grew up in pretty good times, and I didn't turn out weak. I learned from my father just to get up and get at it every day, no matter what's going on. You got to show up. You got to show up each day at your job or at your life or whatever, and you just don't stay under the covers. I've taken a lot of my advice from Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism. You know, who are you to lay in bed all day? Jump up and get at it. And I know the old tobacco ain't necessarily jiving with the whole Tao thing, but it actually does. Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching says that a man has to follow his virtue. And if part of his virtue is coffee and tobacco, then that's just part of it. Embrace who you are. Don't try to fight it too much. Obviously, you shouldn't go extremes in either direction. You don't want to go too far one way or the other. But I took a lot of advice from people in my youth on nutrition and diet and exercise, and put myself into a regimen of daily kung fu practice and trying to eat good vegetable diet and stuff like that. And it worked pretty good during the high school years, that all joined the kung fu school together and would go surfing together and exploring the caverns around, LA County and San Diego County, Southern California, basically. I'm the only one that kept doing it. I'm the only one that kept doing kung fu every day. I'm the only one that truly embraced a, a mostly vegetable based diet. And though I continued to smoke and drink, and do all of that stuff, most of my friends have died off. They've been killed by this, that, or the other thing. Some of them have been killed by ill health. And I'm down to like one other dude who's like ailing from alcoholism and about to drop dead. And at least I didn't do that, man. I got married and I cut the alcohol basically out of my diet for the almost 100%. And I think that saved me. So it's my wife. I owe it in part to my wife for, you know, being such a bully. She's like, don't drink. Fuck that. That's for losers. She doesn't want me to smoke either, but you got to have at least one bad habit. I don't trust someone that doesn't have at least one bad habit. So all these guys who didn't have any bad habits, right? They're all dead now. And God rest their soul, rest in peace. They're still among us though. And there's no accounting for it sometimes. And I guess that's why I'm feeling a little ennui today. Yeah, we all do. I have a slap disc today, feeling kicked on the arse. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Nothing like back injuries to fucking take to just devitalize you. I mean, I hate that shit. I actually spent 2 years studying, well, more than that. I've been studying the basic tenets of Chinese medicine my entire life. But for about 2 or 3 years, I really focused on learning massage leads. So, cracking the back and all of the joints in the body, aligning those after workouts and stuff. And I can do good back work, man. If I was to come over there and give you a nice back massage and set that back for you, but disc work is dangerous. You got to be careful. You don't want to cause additional injury on it. And when a disc is swollen or whatever, that's not the time to do it. You have to wait until things are. But at some point, you have to have those things aligned. And the best way to align them is through gentle restorative exercise on your own. Pillows and shit. Loyalty is the best, not crazy at all. People wanting to fight in a chat. What? Why are people fighting in the chat? Who's fighting in the chat? That card deck is on eBay. I wonder how much do those card decks sell for on eBay? I have an Illuminati card deck back among my comic book collection back home in the States. That's why I worry about my shit. I mean, my mother's of the opinion that everything is transient and she'll just give it away and throw it away. And so that is a dangerous mentality, in my opinion. The things that you invest in and your children invest in and stuff, you don't want to just give them away and throw them away. You need to, inventory and catalog and keep your things in good order. There's no reason to disperse your efforts to the wind like that. Yeah, ain't nothing like back pain. I hear that. I have plenty of bad habits. Good. Then I trust you, Diane. I have half a height from lower back, disc missing, so it's a constant pain in the ass. Yeah, I believe it. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Angelica. I'll go to the chiropractor, but today is a slow day and it makes me feel like, yeah, nothing like back pain. I think the 1995 edition, first edition, is pricey. I've got it. Deck. Hopefully, if my older sister and her confused daughter didn't trade it for a pack of cigarettes or something, because that's about the size of it. That's why I kept my house locked up. I let my mother and my brother stay there. And I specifically said, do not let the people who steal and trade things at the pawn shop into my house, please. And they had destroyed their house so bad, which was originally in good shape. It was the better of the two homes. We bought two homes in a little rural area in the country. And first thing they do is start throwing parties, you know, and tearing all the doors off the house. Why have doors? You gotta let the dog in and out all the time. And they're not even country folks. We're all originally from Los Angeles, which means I mean, LA was pretty country too back in the 1950s. But we're supposed to be urbanized city folk that understand that, you know, you dust off your books occasionally, and you maintain a good library, and you don't give those things away, and you don't let the dogs chew up. Yeah, it's disappointing, but what can I do? Nothing I can do. Not while I'm over here. It's all different prices on eBay for it. I was looking at the recently, but I think they changed the later editions are not the same. Think some cards are missing or changed. Okay. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Like I said, I'm trying to plan home. I have planned. I have determined in my mind that I'm going back to the US this summer. So please start packing your shit and get out of my house. Because I'm going to be staying in the house that I built, and I'm going to be throwing out stray cats and stray dogs left and right, and I'm going to get my rifle and start putting holes in sick animals. So if you are a sick animal, you had better fucking run for the bushes. I probably shouldn't say that because now they'll fucking break their backs to get rid of all of it. The most expensive deck of cards on eBay is 2,500. For the Illuminati deck? No. I can't imagine that. That sounds like maybe a 1960s Italian tarot deck, not a cheap US Games Corp Illuminati deck. I can't imagine that. Oh, good God, look at how the time has flown by. So whether you feel sad or you feel happy, man, the time just flies by. Like typically, I think when I'm jamming down the road, there's actually different cards now with Trump on it. Oh, okay. I'll have to check into that. I'll have to look into that. It's weird that the trucker protest was on the cards. Long haul. Well, it's not. Yeah, and Angelique Sasquatch. It's not necessarily that trucker protest. There have been many. You know, every decade there's the same events rolling out. So it's like there were trucker protests back in the 60s and 70s. And, you know, there have been trucker protests as long as there have been truckers. You know, they're always fucking people over. And people have always got a reason to be angry, and justifiably. You know, here's what I would be amazed by if they had an Uber Lyft ride sharing protest, which I took part in 2019. Uber Lyft is a far larger scam than the truckers. If you've ever taken an Uber Lyft, which you shouldn't, and you still do, you should, like I like to say, you should slap yourself in the mouth one time because you are contributing to a corporate monster of wage slave, and nobody should drive for it, and it shouldn't exist. It should be dismantled. It's illegal. It's a Ponzi scheme, and they cheat the drivers. They trick them into driving for that company, saying that they'll make minimum wage. And at the end of 6 months, they realize that due to depreciation on their vehicle and tires and oil changes, that they didn't make $6 an hour. They made negative $2 an hour. And so they were paying $2 an hour to drive people around. And that's what happens at the end of 6 months for anyone who drives for that company. I did the research. I investigated it. You can watch great YouTube videos on it. I made a couple of YouTube videos. RV Truth had a video about the masks. There was something weird in the Pat King guy. I saw someone talking that it was all a setup and it was meant to be like that. Now they blame the truckers for empty shelves, etc. Yeah, the supply chain was already broken, and so I think part of that was grassroots, but I think part of it was also agent agent provocateurs, because they knew that it was going to happen anyway, and so they had to have a good reason for it. So they just blocked up all those truckers and said, "You guys can't drive if you don't have the job." And as a result, we see what we got from it, you know. So I am definitely a conspiracy minded guy, because it all rolls out so coincidentally to in their favor every time. Canadian government pooled a number on the citizens. Oh yeah, you know, you can find they were they're looking to roll out those what is it, electronic certification, vax certificates and certification. It's all just tracking systems. It's got nothing to do with anything else. The reset is great reset. What they mean by that is the reorganizing of a new society. It doesn't mean they're resetting so that people's, credit cards go down to zero and shit. What it means is that they're foisting greater regulations on people. Wage slave populations in European countries and in America, they're phasing out the old indentured Irish servants, the slave white man, enslaved white man, and black man, of course. He suffered some slavery as well. But mostly the enslaved white indentured servants that don't complain and work hard, and don't ask for reparations. They're phasing them out for a whole new generation of enslaved brown folk, wage slaves. Not a lot you can do about it, guys. Not a lot. All righty, y'all. It is past my breakfast time, so I have got to get in there and get her done. I love y'all good looking, sexy people. Stay well out in Happy Land. I apologize for all the ennui today, but there's just so much horse shit going on out there that it has ballooned into a landscape of perpetual miasma. I'll read these last comments, then I got to run. It's crazy looking at the pages and pages of issues with the timber jab and still pushing it, blah, 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 even though it's causing harm. Yeah, I agree with you. They're talking about taking away credit card debt with the Great Reset, and they're talking about paying off all debt, but you won't own anything. Yeah, I think that's the real plan there is thank you, Sasquatch. You have a great day too, and you too, Diane. I think, yeah, maybe we'll be doing better tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Um, yeah, that's really what the Great Reset's all about, is removing all private property. Like here in China, you can't own anything. Like you can have it and use it, but even your little tile that you paid 6 million RMB for or whatever, that's 100 square feet, and you got 10 people living there. You don't own it. You're leasing it. It's all everything. Everything in China is a possession of the central government. Nothing is dependently owned. Even if you think you own something, you got a little villa, you got cars parked out there and stuff. They can take it away from you at any moment. Because according to their constitution, all property, all production, all manpower, all possessions are owned by them. That the people involved in the system are just that. They're just battling each other for vying for dominance over a basically a landfill, a toxic landfill. And when you wake up and realize that, it does cause a little ennui. And when you think about what you supposedly owned back in your own native country, the United States, being shat on by everyone and taken over by other people who didn't work for it, then it does create some ennui. Well, he didn't take into consideration that we might not be happy about it. Y'all good looking sex people, stay well. Live Jive Archive. Hit the thumbs up on your way out the door. I appreciate y'all. As above, so below, and good magic. God bless you. Keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you in mind.